Hi guys, I'm David with Media Unlocked. Sorry you haven't seen a video from me in a while. Been really busy, but today I'm bringing you a pretty cool little review on what's called a Pico Dolly. It's made by Photography and Cinema. They sent it out to me recently to do a review on it. Check it out, see what I think. I've used it a few different times. I really like it. So I guess our first step is let's open it up and show you guys what a Pico Dolly is. So first thing you notice, the Pico Dolly does come with a bag, which is really nice. As you notice, the bag is not that big and you can carry it. So it's very small and very, very easy to transport. So all the pieces you get here is the Pico Dolly itself. You get, if you can notice, there's like a little hot shoe piece here. So this would scroll into here, or you have what's called arms, which you hear your arms right here, which connects into the Pico Dolly. So these work with the arms. And then you have this cool little piece. Now the Pico Dolly is made to use with a DSLR camera or point and shoot camera or your cell phone camera. What I have is a little Sony CyberShot point and shoot here. And what this does is, this clamp opens up and this allows you to, and it's got these like little rubber things in the inside of it, so it really clamps to your device really well. And let's get it on there. There we go. And then this would connect to your arms and you would be able to shoot as you're rolling. And I'm going to show you all that here in a minute. So that's really a cool thing. So someone that wants to do some nice smooth shots, get in close, make them look very smooth, but doesn't necessarily have a DSLR, does a lot of professional shooting, guess what? You can pick up a Pico Dolly and it works with your point and shoot camera or like an iPhone or other devices. So let's set this bag out of the way. Now, what the Pico Dolly is really made for is a smooth, flat surface, like a tabletop. So I have done some shooting outside with it, but it's hard to get a nice smooth surface. I am in the works of hopefully building a smooth surface for it. So mainly what I'm going to try to do is get some boards and get hinges and connect them, and then get like a sawhorse or 2 tripods to connect these boards to it, so that I would have a movable platform wherever I go. I could get these nice smooth panning shots. So you have your arms, which are quite amazing. I'm using both of my cameras, by the way, both my DSLRs right now. So I will show you a DSLR on there, and we're actually doing some test shots here in a minute. So you have 3 different holes in your Pico Dolly to hook extra extension, extra stuff up. If you wanted to get yourself another arm, you could do that. So I'm just going to take this piece, screw it in, and then these arms, the tension, like when you squeeze them and you really get them tight, like they're not, as you can see, I mean, I've got it about as tight as it goes, and it just amazes me how well such a small device, such small arms right here, how strong they really are, how well they work. So we'll do that. Now we're going to take, and we'll lengthen it out, and then we're just going to put this piece on there. And the other amazing thing, a really cool thing about the Pico Dolly is, if you notice, you can adjust your wheels. So now this does take a little time. It's not like super fast, but it's not super long. And as you notice, I adjusted the wheels and it's going to do a circle. Now I made the circle too wide, so I'd have to readjust to make the circle smaller. So let's adjust the Pico Dolly here. Now to get it to really get in the formation you want it to, you're going to want to really loosen it up. All right, and that's kind of how I want to set the camera up here. And then once you loosen it up, it'll allow you to move around, move your arms the way you'd like to, and then you really tighten it up. And now the arms aren't going to move anywhere. So just make sure you've got it screwed in all the way at the bottom. There we go, it's perfectly screwed in. And let's just say I want to do just a straight shot. I'm going to tighten my wheels down here. Throw in my camera, and we need to adjust once more. So let's take these. And now as you can see, I can move my little point and shoot camera across the table, or counter I should say, and I can get a nice panning shot, a nice shot. So as you can see, you can set that up, and again, if I want to adjust it into a different angle, I just loosen it up. I mean, and a really light stuff like this is not going to throw the balance off, so if I need to get really low with the shot, I can do that as well. I'll let you guys see the length of that. And as you notice, it's not going to throw the balance off. I just taken one little finger to help guide it. Just make sure, pick my speed, and just use that finger to get that nice shot. So guys, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up on my coffee table. I'm going to pull out one of the DSLRs, and I'm going to shoot a little bit with the DSLR. That's what I really want to use this for, is a DSLR. It works great for point and shoot, like I said, but I really have no need to do any professional or any kind of work with a point and shoot and the Pico Dolly. Mostly I'm going to be using, again, the DSLR. And it is a little trickier to maneuver this, to move the arms to work with the DSLR and make sure you keep your balance, but it is quite possible. So let's set up a DSLR and let's do a couple shots so you guys can actually see how this thing performs. Okay guys, so I have the DSLR on the Pico Dolly, as you can see. Now, when you're using a DSLR with the Pico Dolly, which it is quite amazing with the Pico Dolly, is you have to get a counterbalance with the weight. So you could put this thing in weird positions, and I could throw it out. Let's say I wanted to throw my camera way out here, tighten it up. As you can see, these arms are super sturdy, but I'm going to have a weight issue here. So watch. I'm not counterbalanced, and your DSLR is going to land right into the ground. So you have to be pretty smart when you set it up. And this arm, when it's fully loosened, I mean, you can move this arm like just about any way you want to move it. I mean, I could move it all the way out here and tighten it up. Again, we'd have the counterbalance problem, and the camera's gonna. So when your arm's fully loosened, you can shoot this thing in many different directions. Now, for something small like the Sony CyberShot that I'm going to shoot here, it's pretty simple to set up how you want your camera. So on your balls, the balls that are in the arm, you can move the pieces above the balls so that you're able to get your camera exactly how you want it. So like, I'm going to put my camera down here. I'm going to angle it at the Sony CyberShot just a little bit, tighten it up. It's not tight enough here. All right. So I've got it pretty tight. Next step I'm going to do is get these wheels set up so that it's going to get me a good complete circle around the Sony CyberShot. Now this is kind of the more difficult part. I'm not an expert at it. So what I found is moving the wheels in opposite directions. So if I'm going to move this front wheel, I'm going to move the front wheel a little bit angled to the left, so it's going to rotate like this. And the back wheel is going to counterbalance it. If you put the back wheel in the same direction, it doesn't work as well. So what I'm going to do with the back wheel is I'm going to angle it in the opposite direction. And let's see if I can get a good circle here. And nope, it's not going to be a perfect circle. So the front wheel is cutting in too tight. So let's move the front wheel up just a little bit and give me more of a wide circle. And we're almost there. And the back wheel needs to be a little bit tighter. And I think for the most part I've got myself a pretty good circle. So let's videotape me doing this circle. Now something else you want to do is make sure your lighting's good. I'm going to go in and get my focus right on this shot. So focus is how I like it. I've got a little background, as you guys can see. You can kind of see a little bit in the background, but this is for test purposes. In the future, I'd probably set up a backdrop around it, maybe lay a white sheet on top of this table to give it a very consistent look, so there's nothing else for people to really pay attention to but the item that I'm trying to do the review on or shoot. Because this Pico Dolly is really great for small objects. It's really made for it. It's a tabletop dolly is what really it's made for. Photography Center did a great job with it. So let's go on and record a little bit. And you have two different ways that you could shoot that I've seen other people shoot. One is you can just put your finger on it and just go slowly around it. So as you can see, I just got my finger and we're doing slow all the way around, kind of sped up there towards the end. So that's kind of hard. Or you could hit this arm. I guess there's a couple different ways. You just got to find what's the most comfortable for you. I find it pretty cool if you just want to let loose. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I feel very comfortable now. I do have kind of creases where, as you can see, my coffee table can go up and down like here. So you do have these little creases here. So like I would probably put a sheet on this if I was really trying to get a very professional look, so that when the wheels went over these crevices in the table, it probably wouldn't get that friction that you might see in the shot. If you go slow enough though, and we'll start from the beginning, you probably won't notice it too bad. So I'm just going to go all the way around with it here. There we go. Very slowly. And that's the hardest thing, is to keep your speed about the same, so it doesn't look like it's getting too fast or too slow in the shot. So, and see, that was a pretty good one. I feel like I got about the same speed all the way around. So this Pico Dolly is great for so many different functions. Like I said, if you're out shooting or you needed to shoot something where you need to be straight up, I'll just bring it straight up and I can angle it in any direction I need to, and then I would be doing a straight up shot. So say I was wanting to get a circle of this room right here using a wide angle lens. Set it on your table, get yourself a good circle, and then you want to stay right behind it so you're not going to get in the shot, and then it would just do a circle all the way around the room, and you would kind of get a view of the whole entire room. So you could even use this Pico Dolly for real estate. Any realtors out there, anybody that does real estate that wants to do in-house virtual videos of the house, this thing would be great to use. Also, like I said, you could get a couple sawhorses, a piece of very flat plywood, particle board. I don't exactly know what. You'd go to like Lowe's or Home Depot and you get yourself a very flat piece of wood, and set it on your sawhorses, and then you kind of have like a mobile table, because this really works on a very even, very slick table. As you notice, besides these crevices, this is a very flat table. There's nothing for these wheels to worry about. As well, it does not work that well on concrete. We've also tested it on like a tennis court. It works okay on a tennis court, but you're still going to get some of that friction and bumpiness, which a little bit can be saved in After Effects if you know how to go in and take out some of that shakiness. So all in all, this Pico Dolly is pretty amazing. What amazes me is how much this thing costs. You get the Pico Dolly, the arm. Let me get the other pieces out that we had. The piece for your point and shoot or cell phone. So you can do that, and then you get and then the last piece, I have no idea where it is, but you get the last piece has a hot shoe built in, and it allows you to put your camera in different angles as well. So for all of this, including the bag, it's only $99, which is pretty amazing. I think the Pico Dolly is $79.99 by itself without the arm or any of the other pieces. So there'll be a link to Photography Cinema's website down below. Check them out. As well, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Our Facebook is DAVIDDIMAGE. I'm always doing updates, putting up pictures. It's a great way to get a hold of me if you've got questions. As well, Twitter at Media Unlocked. We're always updating and putting things up on our Twitter that you guys on YouTube don't necessarily get to see. And hit that subscribe box up top. It would be great to add another subscriber, If you got any questions or anything, just let me know.